Hello, it's Giles here at My Man in Champagne, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most important choices you have to make when you're thinking of creating a champagne brand, and that is, which champagne maker are you going to work with? Now, you may think that's an easy thing to do, given that there are 4,000 odd champagne makers, but it's not quite so straightforward as that. So I'm going to tell you about the three categories of champagne maker to see which one might be suitable for you. First of all, at what you might call the top of the tree, we've got the famous houses like Moët & Chandon, Veuve Clicquot, Pommery, etc., etc. These are called champagne houses, and there are about 200 odd champagne houses. They're usually famous and been established for over 100 or 200 years. And obviously they make very good champagne, but the problem is that they're not going to be willing to work with you for a private champagne brand. They sell all the champagne they can make, so they're not interested in promoting anybody else's champagne. So nice though that would be, unless you're a world famous celebrity, then you really haven't got a chance of working with them. At the opposite end of the scale, certainly in terms of size, you have what's called the récoltants manipulants, the small scale champagne makers who make champagne from vineyards that they actually own themselves. And as you can imagine, most of these are on a fairly small scale. Some of them make absolutely fantastic champagne, and some of them are really making an excellent reputation for themselves internationally. But due to their small size, they are not interested, and they don't have the production capacity to be able to work with private champagne brands. So where does that leave you? Well, in the middle between these two, there's a whole plethora of other champagne makers. Some of these are cooperatives, and cooperatives many years ago used to be somewhat thought of as not being such good quality, but these days that's completely changed. Some of them make great champagne, and there are other independent champagne makers who have reached a sort of medium scale size, and they're very willing to use some of their spare champagne capacity to work with private champagne brands. And it's in this area that you find the most willing and the most promising partners for your own private champagne brand. So there are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of these, but of course they're not well-known names, so it's not easy to find them. But that's where I can help you. So if you're thinking of a private champagne brand, give me a call, send me an email at giles@mymaninchampagne.com, and we can talk about your choice of champagne maker and the options available to you, and many other things too. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to hear from you soon.